IDM presentations. We had 4 departments presenting yesterday. We have 4 more presenting today. And on the 28th and the 29th, you will have opportunity to ask your doubts. The reason that we have spread it out in this manner is that we give you enough time to think and decide which IDM you want to choose. The IDMs are a very important decision because this is something that will carry on for all the semesters until semester 7. So whatever choice you make right now is something that will, the subjects will go on progressing in the same IDM stream. So make the choice, think about it and make an informed choice. So you can ask the presenters today, the faculty who will be taking those subjects, the CCs of the department, faculty of the department. If you choose, you can ask an industry expert. Whoever you think will help you make the choice, you should ask. And the choice should also be based on not what is popular, what everybody is opting for, but what is it that will go with your personality? What is it that goes with your interest? Yes. So you are doing a major subject, you have joined a certain department, and what is the interdisciplinary minor which will actually add value to whatever you are doing? That should be the factor which makes you choose a particular IDM. Okay. So use this time that is there until the time that you select the IDM to figure out in your mind what it is. I'm sure in the first and the second semester of your foundation, you've been in touch with your mentors, and in various discussions, they might have mentioned the IDMs to you. So it's not a new concept to you. But now when you start making the choice, you probably need to deliberate on it much more. So we are giving you this time to do that so that you make a proper choice, because once you make the choice, it's very difficult, almost impossible to change the idea. It will not be possible to change the idea. So please make a choice which is well thought of. Okay, all the best, and we'll start with the first presentation. Nitin?
Good evening, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
So good evening, everyone. I am here to make a presentation on the interdisciplinary minor, which is offered by Master of Design department, which is called Lateral Thinking and Innovation. And we have been running this particular item, the start of this new course. So as you all can understand, the designing is a basic human need and human attitude to improve your life. Whatever we are doing in design actually is culminating in improving our daily life. We all are going to unknowingly and knowingly design something. Every day we are designing something, our own home also, and our professional life also. Now you are going to learn this particular subject professionally, and since all these actions which we do at home may not be called as design, because we may not look at those actions, those activities which we are doing in daily life in terms of design. But there is a close connection of these activities with whatever we do as design in the professional domain of design. So in a way, design is the transformation of existing conditions into the preferred ones. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to create newer situations, newer environments for the human to live in. And this is going to lead to improved future. Now, this improved future is very much required, and all of you can understand today's situation in which we are currently. So, it is very imperative in that kind of a situation to change life, and designers can do that very well. But in order to do this, one has to understand that we cannot, as Albert Einstein says, that we cannot solve our problems, whatever problems or whatever issues or whatever improvements we would like to do, we cannot solve those unless and until we understand what is that premise or what is that thinking which created these problems. Because in human life, humans only have created this entire human life. So we only, our ancestors, our seniors have created certain kind of designs, and those designs or those kind of life is creating a problem today. Not because they did something wrong, only because today's situations have changed, because today's conditions have changed. So basically, we will have to change our way of thinking. And that's what this particular IDM tries to do, that it tries to change our thinking. As Ed Bono, one of the important personality in lateral thinking, uh, says, think more, think differently, and think radically. Unless and until we give stress on the way we think, we will not be able to create improved future. And lateral thinking is one of the approaches in in thinking, which activates that, which actually brings that particular difference in our life. So what it does, it break existing patterns and change our paradigm, change our current situations. Then it generates more ideas and a fresh thinking, because lateral thinking gives us variety of multiple ideas, and that gives us certain kind of approach to choose the right kind of idea. And with this, we are being able to solve challenging problems, which are, and not only solve those problems, but solve those problems in a different way, in a radically different way. So basically, this particular idiom tries to first of all emphasize onto the lateral thinking approach. So this is the tagline of the IDM: let's innovate for future. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to focus more on what is going to come tomorrow rather than what is going to be happening today, because all of you are going to be budding innovators, and budding innovators are supposed to solve tomorrow's problems, because today already somebody already has created our life the way we are living today's life. So this particular idiom consists of um, these five different subjects, starting from third semester, creative and lateral thinking; fourth semester, design thinking; in the fifth semester, there is introduction to design innovation; in the sixth semester, there is design methods for innovation; and in the seventh semester, innovation in India, which is the way innovation is done in India, which is Jugaad. So this is the entire series of the subjects. We will discuss about what is going to be there in that subject, these subjects slightly later. So these are the learning outcomes, which I'm not going to read pertinently because we don't have that kind of a time. But this presentation will be available on the web space, which is being created by the department. So you can have a look at it. You can thoroughly read this particular presentation, and if you have any doubts, you can always ask. So as we already have discussed, design starts with a problem. So we are supposed to identify these different problems and try to solve these problems. Now, as David Kelly, one of the important personality in design thinking, says that think with your hands, build something or try something, then talk about it, not the reverse. So basically, this is a very important quote for you to understand that we need to take some action. We keep just talking, we keep just discussing about things rather than doing something about these things. And that's what this particular idiom is trying to inculcate in you. And rapid prototyping is one of the important methodology which is used in design thinking methodology, which is being employed over here. That how quickly and how with easy material, day-to-day material, you can create certain prototypes, and these prototypes can be tested very easily, very at its early stage, rather than waiting for the refined stage. Test those prototypes early so that you will be able to develop accurate design solutions which will actually solve that particular problem. Now, this is one of the case studies from IDEO where they have developed one equipment which is used while by the doctors while performing one particular operation. And in the earlier version of the same device, there was a problem that the doctor had to use two hands, where here doctor can operate this particular device by just using only single hand. So the remaining hand can be kept separate, kept free for other use. So this was the problem given to the teams, and the team has come up with this kind of a. So rapid prototyping, as you can see in this picture, simple sketch pens and some roll of some material and cloth pin has been used, and so sellotape has been used to create this particular interesting prototype. So in order to do this, you need to have creative confidence. We talk about creative confidence a lot, because unless and until you are ready to take risks, you are ready to challenge yourself, you will not be able to achieve the success. Usually we follow this particular methodology. Design thinking methodology is followed in all the subject because that is the tool to innovate. And later on, in later phase of the IDM, we go for innovation methodologies. So as we can understand here, that how this particular methodology combines desirability, which is coming from customer, viability, which is coming as a business model, and feasibility, which is coming from technological point of view. So how all the three are combined together and innovations are born. And this is the last segment, which is the way innovations used by any simple people staying in rural India. So that is the last segment, and these are some of the examples of how these kind of different jugaads are performed by Indians. So this is the last part where we would like you to study this entire area. This is also called as frugal innovation, and learn something from that in order to apply it to your own creative thinking skills. This is one of the interesting case studies where how washing machine was used to create lassi. As I already have said, that this you can read later. This I would like to stress upon, that how you can relate every particular subject of this particular idiom with one particular kind of a job profile. So these are different kinds of job profiles which are emerging. Obviously, your own discipline is very important, and that's the reason why you're supposed to take advice of your mentors. And obviously, I'm also there sitting here to advise you, but you should take a wise decision whether really you'd like to go for this. As this particular slide says, that you can become a conceptualizer depending upon, and all these are depending upon your own discipline. How do you merge whatever input is given here with your own discipline? The entire skill goes into it. These are some of the details again. Yeah, so here I have listed down those different kinds of career pathways. Here basically design innovators, entrepreneurs, startups. So this particular IDM will help you to generate certain kind of understanding and certain kind of aptitude towards these kind of career pathways. Now this is basically a very indicative kind of a list that how FD student can merge it for innovator in patterns, construction or special needs. Knitwear design can do in the knit patterns and consumer needs also, because consumer need is a very important factor in knitwear design. Accessory design, you can think about new materials and how you can combine those materials with new product innovations. Fashion communication can think about becoming visualizer, art director, new media specialist. Now, this is a very important area which is emerging in the industry, and there innovation is required. Textile design, you can integrate it with the new technology and with textile design, how you can merge these two along with user study. Then Bachelor of Fashion Technology can do this in terms of technology innovators in manufacturing and applications and rural sector. And in the past batches, there have been students coming from BFT, and they're really doing very well. So innovating is something like creating value in life. So do you want to be part of this? So this is basically, you can take a snapshot of this particular slide so that you can record my number. But don't just call, but you can send me a message on WhatsApp, and I am really, I'm very pro, WhatsApp, because I can chat with you on WhatsApp. And also you can go through this particular web space which we have created, and you can see that entire information along with this presentation also. Also, you can see some assignments done by the students, previous students, to get an idea as to what kind of work students do over here in this particular IDM. So everything is available on this particular Google Drive, so you can have a look at it. And if you have any doubts and any questions, you can ask me anytime. Nitin sir, I'm through. Over to Akanksha. Akanksha.
Thank you, Nitin sir. I'll start the presentation now.
Yes, it is visible.
Is it a full screen now?
No, please do. Now it's okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. I hope all of you are healthy and safe at your home. I am Dr. Akanksha Nautiyal, a faculty from Textile Design Department. And today I'll be talking about the interdisciplinary minor that will be offered to all of you from the department. The name of the IDM is Textile Structure and Surface. In this specialization, I will briefly talk about and explain what this specialization is all about. So in this specialization, you all will be given an insight into the elements of textiles through a hands-on approach. You will be taught various techniques, and you will be taught to handle different materials, which will help you to understand the various aspects of textile designing. So from developing prints for textiles to exploring textile coloration through dyeing and printing to creating a woven fabric on the loom, you will be made well versed with the nuances of designing a textile. Also, through this minor, you will also be introduced to the gamut of textiles across the world in terms of colors, motifs, and techniques, which will be helpful for you to interpret any design. Also, you will get an opportunity to digitally illustrate the textile design ideas that you will develop over the understanding of the course as per your core competencies. So I will discuss about the various subjects that are offered under this IDM, and I will walk you through the content of each subject in the coming slides. So a quick overview of the subjects wherein each semester we focus on a technique through which you can provide value onto the textiles. So from semester third, we start with print design techniques and we move on to textile dyeing and printing in semester four. In semester five, we focus on fundamentals of weaving. And in semester six, the subject is appreciation of work textiles. And in the end, the subject in seventh semester, it is digital design in textiles. I'll be talking about each subject in detail in the coming slides, and I'll also be sharing some work of the students so that you will be able to understand the subject better. So the first subject which we offer under this IDM is print design techniques. In this IDM, you are taught, or rather you are introduced to the world of printed textiles, wherein you are taught the various print design terminologies, which will help you to follow the process which is required for developing prints onto the textiles. So you will be taught the use of various art materials, and you will be also taught various hand and digital techniques, so that by combining these hand and digital techniques and by using various art materials, you will be able to develop unique print designs or a collection of print designs for fashion wear, home fashion products, and lifestyle accessories. Also, in this subject, you will be taught about digital editing techniques, so that you will also understand how to create prints digitally, how to create repeat patterns, how to create a layout for a textile. So in the end, you will be able to design a print design collection for apparels and for home furnishing products also. I have put in some work of the students wherein you can see the different kind of prints that were developed by them for both home and apparels. So the next subject that we teach is textile dyeing and printing. So in this subject, you are introduced to various coloration and coloration techniques. So as you all must be aware that we can apply color onto fabric either through dyeing or through printing. So in the subject also, you will be taught about various dyeing and printing techniques. You will be taught about the various classification of dyes which are required to dye the fabric. So we will be teaching you about the various kind of synthetic dyes, the various kind of natural dyes. We will be also be teaching you about the various printing techniques which is prevalent, which are used in the industry. And you will be given a thorough understanding on what kind of dyes or what kind of printing technique is suitable for what kind of fabrics. So you will be taught about various fabrics and which dye is suitable for them. So through this subject, you will be able to use various dyeing and printing techniques to develop designs onto the fabric for apparel and home furnishing products. So you will have a very good understanding on what kind of print goes for apparel, what kind of print goes onto home furnishing products, and which are the relevant dyeing and printing techniques in order to achieve those effects onto the fabric. So again, here is the sum of the students' work, wherein the students have explored tie and dye patterns by using synthetic and natural colors. And some of the products were developed using the techniques that were taught to them. The print design, the printing techniques, which are screen printing, block printing, flock printing, etc. So this is the students' work, which was done under textile dyeing and printing. The next semester, which is semester 6, it focuses on the fundamentals of weaving, wherein the weaving is taught to you. In this subject, you will be made to understand how to create a woven fabric onto the loom. So you will be explained the various parts of a weaving loom and what are their functions. Also, you will be taught the various weave structures, and the course will help you to identify the various kind of weaves that you see on different fabrics. So you will be working on the looms. You will develop swatches on the loom, and you will also be given an opportunity to explore unconventional or very different kind of materials to create a woven swatches. So here also, if you can see from the slide, the students have used various kind of materials in order to weave a product. So this subject will give you a thorough understanding on how to make a woven product, and how weaving differs, or what kind of yarns are suitable if you want to create a woven fabric for a fashion category or for a home furnishing product. Again, this is some of the students' work that I have shared here. In semester 6, the subject that is offered is appreciation of word textiles. In this subjects, you are introduced to the textiles of the world, and you are made to familiarize with the origin, content, motifs, colors, and usage of embroidered, rugged, natural dyed, painted, printed, and woven textiles of the world. It also will make you sensitized towards the traditional textiles of the world, since you will be taught the various countries which have peculiar textiles related to their country. Like in India, we have different states which have different kind of traditional textiles. Similarly, in various parts of the world, there are certain textiles which have unique features. So you will be introduced to all of them. And by studying this subject, you will be able to appreciate the unique designs, the method how those were made, and what are the religious values that are associated with it. And also you will also be able to take inspiration from any architecture, and you will also be taught if a motif is to be made, or if a design is to be created from the architecture which is very peculiar to a particular region. So you will be given the knowledge of how to convert the surroundings of your area into a print or into a woven design. So in this subject, you will be taught about the various word textiles, about the various motifs that were used in these textiles. And here also we have tried to show the work of the students, wherein they have taken inspiration from the architecture of the locality, and they have tried to create prints out of it according to the end product. Moving on to the last semester, in which the subject that is offered is digital design in textiles. So till 7th semester, you will be exposed to various printed textiles, woven textiles, painted textiles, embroidered textiles. and it will be you will be taught on how to make those products. You will be able to identify those products. But in this semester, that is semester 7, you will be the focus is on to uh, develop the focus is on to familiarize you all with the digital textile design development process. So if you want to replicate a printed design or an embroidered design or a quilted design digitally, you will be taught those skills on how to replicate or how to develop those designs for your end product. So in this subject, you will be taught the various color, material, and techniques trend, which are helpful in digitally designing the textile. And through this subject, you will be able to illustrate your textile design ideas as per your specialization. So the learning outcomes of this IDM, that is textile structure and surface, is that at the end of this IDM, you will be able to understand the elements of textiles, and you will be very confident to experiment with different materials and processes to delve into the nuances of textile designs. You will be able to create prints for various forms or products by using mixed media techniques. You will also understand the concept of textile coloration through dyeing and printing techniques. And you will also be able to select the suitable dyeing and printing technique for a specified textile material. After learning this course, you will also be well versed in examining the process of weaving, and you will also be able to develop basic weave structures onto the loom. You will also appreciate the traditional textiles across the world, and you will understand the regional variation in terms of color, motif, and techniques. And in the end, you will also develop an aptitude for digitally illustrating the application of the textile design ideas according to your core competencies. So this is the detail of the IDM that is being offered to all of you. And thank you so much for listening to the presentation. If you have any doubts or any questions, you can reach out to me on the email address, or you can contact me on the number that is provided here. You can drop a message, you can call me if you have any doubts. Thank you.
Sir, you are not audible.
Am I audible now?
Okay.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is safe and sound in these testing times. I am Abhishek Bajaj, Assistant Professor, Department of Knitwear Design, and I would be presenting the IDM the Department of Knitwear Design is offering. So the IDM that our department is offering is the world of knits. Now, this is the subject, this is a list of the subjects which the department offers in the IDM. In the semester 3rd, we will be offering Introduction to World Knitting. In the semester 4, we will be introducing you to the knit fabric studies. And then semester 5 will be, the subject knit for apparels. And in the semester 6, it will be knit for home. And in the last semester, it will be knit art. Now, slowly we will come to understand about all these subjects as we go along. So what is World of Knits has to offer to the students of other departments? Now, it gives you an understanding of the knits as a zero waste and a sustainable product. So what it means that you will be gaining the knowledge of knitting, knitwear, the product development in knitwear, of course, apparel and home furnishing both, and also imbibing the concept of sustainability. Sustainability is coming in a big way, and in these testing times, sustainability is of utmost importance. These are few keywords for our IDM: design, aesthetics, hand knitting, hand flat knitting, and we will be covering all these in the coming slides. So the semester third and the first subject which you will be offered is Introduction to World Knitting. Now in this subject you will be introduced to the knitting, history and evolution, how the knitting has evolved, how the basics of hand knitting, structures, styles and techniques which are used across the world, and also the development of creative swatches in hand knitting. Now this subject basically gives you the introduction to knitting. I'll show you few of the works. This is the jury presentation of the students, and this is what they make in this subject. So they have a concept, they work on the concept, they have uh, created their creative swatches, and they've converted into product, and then they have had a photo shoot of the same. So this all has been done on hand knitting. So the next subject which comes is knit fabric studies. Now in this subject we go to one step higher in the knitwear, and you have the knowledge of fabrics and fashion categories. You come to know about all the different types of fabrics which are available in knitting, that is flat knitted, circular knitted, and computerized flat knitted. And then you also explore more knit structures, and you are being introduced to knitting machine in this subject. Now this knitting machine is hand operated knitting machine, hence it is called the hand flat knitting machine. And on this machine you do various explorations and making of different types of structures, creative structures, and also some products according to your theme you have chosen, and the mood and concept. So also we do material exploration for the creative swatches, and I'll show you some of the works of the students which they have done in this subject. Now this is the basic swatches these students make, and they are giving all the technical details about the swatches they create. So they are taught in detail about all the technicalities of the knitted structures, and they very easily understand what these structures are all about. And next, these are some other structures these are creative structures the students have made, and these are the products they have done for the end term. The next subject in line which is being introduced in the semester 5 sorry, is the knit for apparels. Now here we introduce the term of sustainability, and of course the student has reached a level where he or she understands what the knitted structure is all about, how the knitted fabric is being created, what are the properties of the knitted fabric, how knitted fabric behaves. And then keeping all those things in mind, now sustainability is also introduced, and they start developing products keeping in mind the sustainability and all the aspects of knitting. Now in this subject they have the choice to go for hand knitting, hand flat knitting, or computerized flat knitting. The Shima Seki machine, the lab we have in our institute, and they do programming there on the computer, and then the swatches are being knitted, and then after the swatches are finalized they make a product. So what are the keywords here is using different yarns. They can also use leftover fabrics and trims because sustainability has to be kept into mind. And also they make customized knitted garments with zero waste. Now this zero waste is a concept again related to sustainability, wherein we do not cut the fabric and the entire fabric can be used uh, to make the product or the garment. Here in this semester, that is apparel we are making, so the all the garment parts are made either in a shaped manner. So those who know about little bit about pattern making, there's an armhole, there's a neck drop, all this can be knitted without on the machine itself, on the computerized machine itself, and the shaping happens on the machine itself, and there is no requirement of cutting it, and hence no yarn wastage or fabric wastage takes place while making such garments. So this is the works of the students. This is the theme inspiration they have taken. This the concept note, and then they have this color board, and this is the product photo shoot they have done, wherein they have used an old jacket which was spoiled, and they have knitted this structure here. The dog, you can see here the face of the dog, and then they have stitched it along on that jacket and made it into a new product. And how it is sustainable, they have used their father's old denim jacket and a waistband of skirt, and then they have created a new garment. This is another example of the product the students have made, and this is how they have done it. This is another product from the same subject. Next, in the semester 6th, the product development for home fashion. Here the students are being introduced to the home furnishings and the accessories which are used in day-to-day lives. And here the students are given an idea to maybe solve some problem what people are facing, how a home accessory or home fashion can be uh, used as problem solving, and it can reduce the problems of the people. Also to keep sustainability into mind, and using different yarns, leftover fabrics and trims. Of course they can use all these different types of yarns and leftover fabrics and trims. Again here also the students are free to use any of the techniques they have learned, the hand flat, the computerized flat, hand knitting, or crochet, and they can come up with their themes, mood boards, color boards, and then of course they develop these uh, products for home furnishing. I'll show you some examples of students' works. And again, here sustainability is to be kept in mind. That is the, now this is one of the products the student has made. This is a fabric which is being used in the wooden frame table, wherein you can, the different products, different things can be kept here. And here this is another product. This is again sustainability, old chair they are using, and they are just replacing the seat covers. They are also making adjustable pillow covers or removable pillow covers. There's this organizer, as I told you, about solving problems. So bachelors especially face these problems, that they don't find their things, or they don't have enough space in their houses, especially where there is flat culture. All these things can be organized in one place, and it can go ahead. In the last semester, the students are introduced to the subject called knit art, and the knit art, again, usage of sustainable materials and upcycling, recycling methods to arrive at a design and development of knit art. Art can be installation, environment, or any other relevant method. For example, yarn bombing. No, what is yarn bombing? You can actually Google it after this presentation, or after this presentation is over. And from the Wikipedia, the yarn bombing is defined as, it is a type of graffiti or street art that employs colorful displays of knitted or crocheted yarn or fiber rather than paint or chalk. So you see graffiti in our campus also, graffiti has been done. But then replacing that with a knit art, that knitted fabrics are being used. I'll show you some examples of it. And here is few types of installations which are done through yarn bombing technique or knit art technique. And all these images are courtesy dayoftheyear.com, youtube.com, and TED Talk. And you can easily find these pictures through Google, and you can see what sort of, since this subject is very first time our students will be doing in this semester, we don't have pictures of the students' works as of now. So what are the learning outcomes we have throughout this IDM? So what a student learns in this IDM is, the student gets the understanding of knitting techniques practiced across the world, understanding of knitting as a sustainable medium in fashion world, hands-on experience in developing customized garments, home products, and accessories, knowledge of growing knitwear market in home segment, apparel, accessories, and art, knowledge to express creativity through knitwear as a medium to create aesthetics and artworks, according to knowledge of knitted apparels and other knitted products. Also, understanding of the machinery used for knitting, understanding the technical specifications of the different structures, identification of the structures, the GSM, the gauge, and other technical details. In detail, you learn all these things. Then understanding the parameters and define the quality of knits for various categories, and using knits for creating art structures, which you learn in the 7th semester. That would be all, students. And my email ID is abhishek.bajaj@nif.ac.in. You may note it down. For any queries, you can email me or WhatsApp me at number 77366 10904. I will repeat my email ID and phone number once again. My email ID is abhishek.bajaj, abhishek.bajaj @nift.ac.in, and my phone number is 77366 10904. Thank you.
Hello, welcome all. This is Pallavi. I am a faculty from Department of Fashion and Lifestyle Accessory Design. So the subject that we are offering here is fashion accessories. So let me just give you a brief on what fashion accessories are. Fashion accessories are those products which are carried or styled by a wearer to enhance their overall look. So here in accessories, in fashion accessories, we have bags, we have footwears, belts, jewelries, and now the most prevalent is the mask, which has become inevitable product to use. So this is the fashion accessories. We have a course timeline in 5 semesters. So from the 3rd semester, we are starting with the introduction to fashion accessories. And in the 4th semester, we have sketching essentials. In 5th semester, we have materials and process exploration. And then the design project, which you will be creating. And with the final thing is the prototyping of it, like you will be manufacturing it. I will explain you one by one in details. So in the 3rd semester, when we are starting with the introduction to fashion accessories, then we are starting with what fashion accessories are. There are so many categories. We need to know each and every one and where it stands in the global market and how the designers are creating their products, what kind of inspiration they're having, what kind of shape, color, structure, what kind of material they're using. All those things we will get an overview of the entire market, not only global, we will do it for India also. And then finally, we will see what are the trends that are going on right now and what is the future of all these accessories. So we are getting an overview of the entire accessory industry during this period of time. And in your 4th semester, the sketching essentials, we will be doing all sketches, hand and digital sketches. So to understand the various textural and the tactile surface, like how suede looks, how leather should be sketched, you will be taught in details, and then you will be taught more on the dimension of different accessories and how they are they have the multi-view representation that you will be taught. And then you will be taught the rendering techniques by digital as well as manual. And then you will also come to know the different components that are there. So how in an exploded view, how we see the components together, they are fixed, and you will get to know by sketching of it. And then the representation has to be, could be in a manual or a digital form. So this is all about the sketching essentials in semester 4 that you will be learning. In semester 5, this is a very important part that you will be learning is the materials and the process, how it is done. Why materials? Because in accessory, there are so many things. So for jewelry, we use metal. For footwear, we use leather. For bags, we use fabric, we use different kind of, even wood are used, even bamboo, cane, everything, a lot of things are used. So we would be teaching you all these materials in details with their properties, how do they work, how they are used, and in a very innovative and in a very effective way. So those materials we would like to teach you, and also the different trimmings and different hardware that are used. So to open a box, what are the things that are components that are used, and what are the tools that are used for the making of it, and also the process in a very detailed manner we will be doing for each of the accessories. So these are all about the material and the process learning in this semester. So while you have done in third semester the complete introduction of the accessories, then you sketched it, you know what they look like, how they should look like from different views. And then in the fifth semester, you did what are the different types of materials that are used. And in this sixth semester, it will be your project where you will be developing a concept, you will be making a design brief, and how we'll go about it is you will be doing the research, the scope of it, the trend that is going on, the future trend that would be coming up. So those part you will be taking into consideration, and you will be developing a design brief. And after a brief, then you will create a concept, a story behind your product development. And then the detailing of each one in that particular product has to be given. So the manufacturing, the detailing of it needs to be given by you. And then how to go to market strategy, that also you will be taught, and the costing part, how the presentation is done, everything to come up with a final design project. And then in the last part of this entire subject is in the semester 7, where you will be actually handling the material that you want to put in your design range. So then you should know the ergonomics of it. So ergonomics is like how a human being feels comfortable, how the shape of their body part should go with the product. So if somebody is wearing a footwear, it should not hurt him, or if somebody has a bag, the bag should not be falling off. So all these matters should be there, will be taught to you in ergonomics. And your particular product, you should be able to relate with the ergonomics of it. And then the technicalities, the drawing of it, as you already have done it, and you are just applying it in your design. And with the specification sheet should have everything, what would be the dimension of that particular product, what should be the costing of that, and what are the materials that are required for this particular product, what are the hardwares that are utilized in your product. And then the pattern making, like each part pattern, you should be able to do it in some mock material, so that when you are actually creating the product, it should be there with you as a reference. And then the prototyping is like you are actually manufacturing it and making a product just for, it should go for for manufacturing. So it could be a mock-up with some different material, look alike or feel alike material, or it could be a real prototype if it is possible. So this is the final, then the product prototype with the range that you wanted to do will be done in your final labs of the entire course. So the learning outcome in a nutshell, I would say it would be starting from your concept creation to the creativity of a product to the consumer. So you are actually studying what are the different types of accessories are there, and what are how they are sketched, how different materials behave in a particular product, and how the process is done. And then you will be coming to a brief where you are kind of focused what product you want to make, and then the design detailing, and then actual product making. So these are the learning outcomes that I have jotted it down in points. So to complete this course, we in our accessory design department, we have infrastructure to do it in our campus. So we have a AD workshop lab where we have all industrial machines. Then we have a full-fledged jewelry lab with all the equipments required to make. We have a 3D printing machine also. And then we have a leather cutting and sewing lab where we can cut the leather or PU or PVC to make a bag or a footwear. So these are the infrastructure that we have, and during your course study, you would be able to use it. And we generally have lots of industry experts coming in to have workshop with students. So here I have given few of the workshops that were conducted in campus. So wherever there is any jewelry to be made, we will give you that exposure. We will give you an exposure to different types of materials and form, how to create some creative product out of it, or something like enameling and for jewelry making, or we have different wood cutting machines and all. And so we can always give you this kind of exposure by industry experts from time to time during the entire course. So this is our team of competent faculty members. So, and here on the left side, my phone number I have added with my email address. You may contact me through WhatsApp in that phone number, and you can always mail me. And we also have this support staff, which you will come to know once you all are on board with us. So we, our whole team is welcoming you all, and we are sure that you will take the right decision. And anywhere you have any question, you may reach us, you may contact me. And also we have a question answer session coming up on 28th and 29th, where we would be available for any kind of your queries. And then you will be able to, I think, sort out your queries with. And in this note, I would like to end my presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Nitin, we can stop now.
Okay. Can I stop?
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.